Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today we're back here for another mansion build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this family mansion. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1. So I see that it's up on the gallery now. As I'm doing this voiceover, I actually haven't even finished the home. I've only got like one more bedroom left, so I suppose it's like not really a bad thing that I'm doing the voiceover now. But I've got a chance now where everybody's out the house, which you probably know that I do like to do voiceovers when everybody's out the house because you know, I'm just like, I feel like people are listening when they're here, so if I can get a chance when they're out, then I try to take advantage of that and get a voiceover done. So if you've watched my last two videos, I did those two voiceovers when people are in the house, so you can probably tell a little bit of a difference from how quiet I was in those two last voiceovers to this one. Anyway, so this home is also a little bit special because this was actually a requested build. So my friend Josh from Middleton Plays on YouTube, he went ahead a few days ago and kind of asked me to build a mansion for his household called the Waters family. And I've never done like a requested build before. Like I've had like lots of suggestions which I always kind of take and use that as inspiration for builds, but I've never really had anything where somebody's kind of gave me like exact instructions, I suppose you could say, to follow to do a build from. And I normally don't do those since it's kind of a lot of pressure to get it done and stuff, but I thought, you know what, let's just give it a go since I've not done one before, and you know, it is from one of my good friends as well, so I suppose it'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of find the list in our DM history here to see what I included. Like I said, I haven't actually finished the whole build yet, but I've just got one more bedroom to do, so I can kind of talk about things in the voiceover today that I'm doing on the screen. So I don't know why it takes me so long to find it. Okay, so you wanted a modern farmhouse type of home on a 64 by 64 lot in Middleton Bay, as you can see here, and it has, well, you wanted 6 bedrooms, which I believe I did get, 3 or 4 bathrooms. I did think I actually got more bathrooms than that. I think it's more like 6 or 7 bathrooms, which, you know, I suppose it doesn't exactly match what he wanted, but I mean, I suppose there's no harm in having a few extra bathrooms. A study, kitchen, dining room, music studio, an art studio, a living room, playroom, a garden with a pool, and a greenhouse, and also a gym as well. So I kind of was thinking, should I go for like I wasn't really too sure, because, you know, he said I wanted like a modern sort of theme, if that was going to be kind of like an ultra modern sort of thing, or sort of like it's family home style, which is a little bit more updated, and that's what he wanted, so that's what we did here. And yeah, so what else I was going to mention? I literally totally forgot I was about to say something. Oh, that was it. So the music studio and art studio are actually in like the guest house thing that you'll see at the back of the lot. And I'm really sorry, there's a load of like birds making noise outside. I don't know if you can hear that. It's putting me off. Anyway, so this little building that we're just doing right here is where the music and art studio goes, and then in the garage is where I go ahead and put the gym. And also, since I had a little bit more space in the garage area, I did go ahead and put like a little laundry station sort of thing, with a few counters and a sink to that. Now he didn't ask for that, so Josh, if you're watching this, then feel free to go ahead and take that out, because I know not everybody likes to play with laundry, so I just thought I'll include it, you know, for the space. And, you know, of course, if anybody else is watching this, you can go ahead and download this for your family too. Like I said, my origin ID is real Thomas TV1. And yeah, so I'll have like the information about, because in my mansion builds I normally put like a card on the screen with information about the build, like the price, bedrooms and bathroom numbers, stuff like that. Well, I'll put that in the description as well of my mansion build, so you can go ahead and see there for the finished information. Like I said, I haven't finished the build yet, so I can't really do that as of yet. But yeah, so I'm actually really happy how this build turned out, because, you know, it's sort of like a similar style to some of my other builds, so I really wanted to try and like actively make sure that I wasn't doing the same thing when it came to the interior. So I kind of just made some like slight changes to what I normally do. So I didn't really go for the same kitchen counters that I normally go for, the same wallpapers in the bedrooms, and it incorporated a bit of colour. Now, this is for like a family, because I said it has like a playroom in it. Now, he did actually want neutral bedrooms though, so the bedrooms aren't really kind of like, you know, like kids' rooms, like when you look at them. Now, I did do like a few like brighter colour bedrooms, but not really anything that would make it look for like, okay, this is going to be for like a teen boy or 2, you know, toddler twins or something like that. They're all fairly neutral, but I did incorporate some colour in the bedrooms. But in the playroom, I did go ahead and put a bit more colour in that, and of course kids' toys and stuff. So if you don't know, I'm actually kind of glad that he said that he wanted neutral bedrooms, because I normally don't like to do kids' rooms. One, it's a little bit kind of like sometimes I find it a little bit difficult because I'm not really used to using loads of colour, and second of all, I just prefer playing with like neutral rooms and stuff, and kind of putting those up in the gallery so it's easier for you to kind of move any type of family into it. So it was kind of nice actually to do a playroom to kind of experiment with that a little bit, and maybe that's something I could incorporate into my future mansion builds, since I know like most of the Sims you're going to be playing with are going to likely have kids if you're using a house like this. So since I don't do kids rooms, maybe I could do like a playroom instead to make up for that. Actually, let me know what you think about that. And also in this build as well, you might see how I kind of like chop and change between different areas of the build. So we kind of work a little bit on the exterior, then we move into the interior to do a little bit, then we'll go and do some more exterior decorations, then we'll do the study, we'll do a bedroom, a bathroom, then we'll do something more outside. So it sounds like a little bit of a mess, but I thought I did this a few videos ago where I kind of made everything like, you know, I just did things in random orders, and I did that because I feel like sometimes what happens is that I do all the exterior, I do all the downstairs, and then when the last part of the build is just the upstairs, which pretty much is just all bedrooms. So I thought, you know, instead of kind of like showing you all the good parts of the build and then there's just 8 bedrooms like one after the other at the end of the build, speed build, like in the video, I thought I'd go ahead and kind of switch things up a little bit. And I did, like I said, I did this a few videos ago, and a few people did pick up on it. Oh, can't speak. Pick up on it. There we go. So I might incorporate that, you know, a few more times. It's only a little minor thing. I don't know why I'm kind of making a big thing out of it, but I just thought I'd let you know. If you kind of think I'm doing things in random orders, it's just to make it a little more enjoyable, I suppose. And yeah, so right now we're just working on the landscaping, and recently I have been including a little bit more of landscaping in my speed builds because I do tend to cut it out because, well, not all of it, like I show you a little bit and then I kind of do the rest off screen because it's just the same process. Now if I do end up cutting a little bit more out than you were liking to see, I do actually have a landscaping tutorial which I kind of mention in every build now. I did it a little while ago, so you might not easily find it. Probably the best way to do is just search like The Sims 4 landscaping tutorial on YouTube, or if you just go into my channel and use the search feature there and just type in landscaping or landscape tutorial, you probably find it that way. And then that way you can kind of see how I do landscaping and my thought process behind it if I kind of end up cutting something out, because, you know, I do like, when I edit my videos, I don't really watch the full thing through until I've like fully edited it, so sometimes it's kind of hard to go back and add things back. So I just tend to like skim through, see things where I'm just kind of like not really doing much, or if the camera's still, if I'm not, you know, doing anything, and I tend to cut those out. Now sometimes, you know me, I will kind of accidentally maybe cut something out that's a little bit more important, which sounds really bad actually, but I kind of make up for it, you know, with the landscaping tutorial and stuff, so you can go back to that as a reference, I suppose. And yeah, so we're now working on the kitchen, as you can see, and I actually really like this kitchen. It's, you know, nothing really special, but it's just that I kind of use different counters. There are actually base game counters, and I actually really like them. They're a little bit more of the modern style, so that doesn't really fit into a lot of my builds, but since this build was intended to be a little bit more on the modern side, I thought that'd be nice to include. It was just a little bit different from normal. It was nice to kind of experiment with that. So right now we're working on the dining room, which is kind of just like an archway going through to the kitchen from but yeah, I can't speak today, from the kitchen to the dining room, and it does have a 8-seat table, so probably enough for the amount of Sims that's, you know, living here, and if there's not, then, you know, there's space for guests and stuff as well. And then we've also got a little bar area here too, and I've been incorporating a few more bar areas in my builds, and I just feel like that's a nice thing to add to dining rooms, I think. You know, because these dining rooms sometimes, because what I do is tend to do is that if the kitchen has the space, I'll do like a family kitchen table, and then I normally do the dining room, which is a little bit more posh, so I might have, you know, a piano in there or something, and not in this case here, but I do think that adding like a bar area just adds that feel a little bit. So right now we're just working on one of the living rooms. Now, as you can see, this doesn't really fit the theme of a modern build, as you can see with this particular wallpaper, and I just did that because it's, you know, it's kind of like a home that's been, you know, around for a while, I suppose, and it just have a more updated feel now. So I suppose it might be a kind of nice idea to incorporate maybe something that would kind of give the feel of the original home, and that's what we're doing right here with this room. I mean, you know, it's not totally outdated, it's just a wallpaper that kind of gives a little, slightly more of a dated look, and also these two little armchairs here too. Now, like I said, I don't know like the final price of this home, but I'm imagining that's going to be a little bit more on the pricey side because, you know, those 2 chairs there alone are pretty expensive, and, you know, it is a big home after all, so the pricing kind of, you know, flies up with these mansion builds. And also landscaping too. Landscaping is very, very expensive in the game, so that is probably, you know, since we have a lot of it, that's going to bring the price up. So, you know, I don't worry too much when it comes to mansion builds. When I do mansion builds, it's just kind of my chance to kind of do what I want. You know, with smaller homes, sometimes I will do restricted packs. I've done a few builds in the past where I've done kind of like picked 3 packs plus base game to do a build with. Maybe I'll do it up a mansion build. Let me know what you think about that. Like I did a base game Dream Mansion like last week, I think it was, and that was really well received actually, and also on the gallery it was on the Popular Now page too, which was crazy. And you know, I don't do like a whole lot of, you know, base game builds, and I explained this a little while. It was in the Haunted Brindleton Bay home, I believe it was that one. I kind of talked a little bit why I don't do restricted pack builds. I mean, I don't do them all together, it's just sometimes, and I think the reason is, I'm not really too sure myself, but what I think it is because the whole kind of past Sims games. Now, I only really started playing when Sims 3 came out. Well, yeah, just after Sims 3 came out. Well, I actually played the Sims 2 Pets on Nintendo, like back in 2006, but I didn't really know, you know, much about the Sims game and community apart from that game, so I wasn't really that involved with it, and I kind of just, you know, I didn't really play the Sims after that until like 2010. Anyway, so with The Sims 3, I didn't have any packs because I wasn't really too familiar with The Sims to begin with. I just enjoyed playing The Sims 3 base game because I didn't really know that much like what I was missing, so I'd just, you know, stick with the base game. And, you know, it was something that I kind of started playing, then I was kind of go through phases where I really played it a lot, and then I didn't really play it for a little while and came back to it, and, you know, that cycle just went on and on and on. So I kind of felt as well that maybe buying packs wouldn't be the best idea. So I went through the whole Sims 3 era without, you know, buying any packs. So it sounds kind of crazy, but it didn't really seem like a big deal for me at the time. And, you know, so since I've been playing the whole time without any packs, I feel like The Sims 4, now that I do have packs, you know, it's kind of just an opportunity for me to kind of play with them, because I never really had that opportunity before. So that's probably one of the reasons why I don't. And, you know, with being a game changer, you know, sometimes I do get early access to packs, but I have bought a big portion of them myself. And yeah, so right now we're just working on the playroom, as you can see, and I actually really like this room. Like I said at the beginning, I don't really do kids themed things that often in my builds, so it's kind of nice to kind of play around with that a little bit more, and also just incorporate a little bit of colour. So you can see here that we do have the doll's house. I believe that is a table for toddlers too, and also we've got a toy chest. We've also got a few kind of cuddly toys there and a bookshelf and stuff, so it's kind of a nice little room. And then this room right here is the secondary living room. Now I would say that this one is more of like the family style one, because that one that we're working on before, how I was talking about how it had like a bit more of a dated feel to it. Well, this one's kind of just on the opposite side of it. Well, this one doesn't really have that feel, and it also has a big TV here, so I suppose this is more of like a relaxing type of room. So, you know, you can change things up if you need to. I always say this as well, like, feel free, if you download the house, you can make slight changes or anything you need to fit your family, which is fine. All I ask, and I say this, I've said this before, but just not to re-upload it to the gallery, because I know myself included, and a lot of builders that I've talked to do have that same problem where people are kind of like, you know, sort of just taking the builds and re-uploading them, which, you know, the thing is that it has the original buy thing, which, you know, it tells you like who the original creator was, but sometimes as well, when they re-upload it, they may not have all the packs. So sometimes I've seen my builds be re-uploaded, but they literally have like no windows or anything because they have missing packs as well. Anyway, so this is a laundry area that I was talking about. So it isn't really a big area, and like I said, Josh didn't really ask for a laundry area, so you can easily take that out and maybe put another piece of gym equipment or something in there. And you can see that the gym area here is pretty big in this home. It's probably a little bit too big than what's needed, but like I said, I didn't really have, you know, you didn't really say I need this many treadmills and stuff, so I kind of just did what I want. You can easily change it up if you needed to. And he also, like I said, asked for a greenhouse, so this is what we're doing right there. I didn't really show too much of the footage of that because I literally just put some planter boxes down and he can go ahead and put his own plants in and stuff. And I also put the kind of the flower arranging table in there, and also a few bee boxes. And then now we're working on the bedrooms. So like I said at the beginning, I did try to actively change up the bedrooms, and the main thing I did with that was just change up the colour swatches. So you can see here that we've got this particular wallpaper from Parenthood, which I actually haven't used in a little while. It was 1 or 2 mansion builds ago, but I did go ahead and use it for a little while just as a change, and I actually really like it. A lot of the colour swatches with this particular wallpaper are kind of, you know, got kid related things on it, but they do also have some kind of more plain colour swatches. And it is a really nice sort of pattern to it, because, you know, I do just end up using like plain painted walls, as you can see in this room here, which is fine and everything, but I just thought it's a nice little change, so I might use that a few more times in my builds. And yeah, so this room right here is well, that's the thing, they're all neutral rooms, so it's not really for any particular type of sim, but I do again really like it. It's a little bit more on the smaller side, and it does also have a bay window with one of those kind of bay window seats from Seasons. And in terms of what packs I used today, like I said, you know, when I was talking before about restricted packs, I don't really know, but in terms of ones that I didn't use, probably spooky stuff, which, I mean, I think nobody really uses unless it's Halloween, and I'm trying to think what else. Any expansions that I didn't use, I don't really know. Maybe outdoor retreat, or maybe 1 or 2 items. Sometimes, oh, my first pet stuff, I try to avoid using that because what ends up happening is that from my first pet stuff, really the only item that I use is the blinds, and I don't really want to use it if it's just for that, because people will look on the gallery and see that my first pet stuff is, you know, used, and they kind of look at the build like, oh, this is really perfect for me, but it has my first pet stuff, and they won't download it even though there's just 1 item used. So I tend, if I'm just going to use 1 item, I just really think it's not worth it, and I'll choose something else. So this is another room here which I actually really like. Again, it's a little bit more of a brighter colour swatch wall that I don't really use, but it turned out really nice. It's not really, like I said, it's a neutral room, but it just has a little bit more colour in it, so it could be for any type of sim. And now I've run out of footage, so I don't really know what you're probably seeing the last bedroom on screen now, or maybe I've just jumped straight in screenshots. I don't really know, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this voiceover up here. I really hope you enjoyed today's build. Like I said, I'm really happy how this one turned out, and I hope you liked it as well, especially Josh, since this was a requested build for him. Like I said, there will probably, I say probably, be a download link in the description. Sometimes I forget, but if there's not one there, then you can go ahead and search it on the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1. Leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and also let me know if there's any more suggestions for builds or mansion builds you want to see next, as that'd be really helpful to hear, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!